All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Sorry I'm a little late. The weather computer over here that we used to stream our stream here was not happy with me this morning for who knows what reason. Probably because it's a Saturday and it didn't expect me to be doing this, because it's not during the week when I typically do this anyway. But we'll go through a quick little discussion here regarding the threat for severe weather that we've got for this afternoon. It's going to be kind of similar to what we saw last Sunday, but with a little less spin in the atmosphere, and there's some weaker flow aloft too, so I'll get into all that here in a second. But we'll get right off the bat here, show you what's going on with the radar as of right now. We've kind of been watching this cluster of showers and thunderstorms that's been well west of us, west of Iowa City. It's been in decay mode here for the last couple of hours, and I think what's happening is you're getting the outflow, or the rain-cooled air is likely running ahead of it, and that's decreasing its intake of that nice, warm, humid, unstable air, and likely causing its intensity to decrease. So I'll show you a little zoomed in view of that. There you see again the returns, and the lightning has really been coming down in count and in frequency, so that tells me we're in a weakening stage here. Further to the southwest, this is where the weather is going to be coming from for today, from southwest to northeast. There you see there's some more showers and a few thunderstorms down there, but nothing too exciting, nothing severe, at least right now. So what we're going to be watching is we've got a warm front down in that same area, and you notice we've got some clearing taking place in that region as well. Now that clearing should get here by the noon hour, if not slightly after that, and once those clouds clear out, that's when we're going to start to build in some storm energy, some instability, and storms will start firing right along that warm front as it slowly lifts to the north, and a few of those storms, depending on how much sun we see, will likely take advantage of that energy and that building storm energy to provide us with the threat for not only some hail, some wind, but also a few tornadoes, because we're talking about a warm front being involved in this specific situation. So I'm going to pull in one of my data sets here real quick, because I'm kind of curious to see what the actual visible satellite is looking like right now in terms of our clearing, because that's going to be a big determinant in how much storm energy, of course, we're going to be able to build up. So let's load in the visible satellite. Let's see actually where the back edge of the clouds are, and that would be right there. However, if you look at what's happening here in northeast Missouri, we've got another area of clouds starting to build in here near Kirksville. There's some breaks in that, though. If you go north near Keokuk, and south of Mount Pleasant, we got some breaks in the clouds right here. But if those clouds continue to fill in like they're doing there in northeast Missouri, that could potentially limit a little bit more of the instability coming into the afternoon. So we're going to be watching the satellite here, but it looks like we're due for some breaks in the clouds not too much longer from now. We've got the moisture for it. You felt the humidity and these higher dew points, especially yesterday. They're a little lower today because we've had more mixing. The wind is a little bit higher, a little bit stronger than what it was this time yesterday. But right along that front, especially just to our south, this is where you're seeing that feed of higher moisture. So we've got the moisture in place. We're going to check the instability once we get into the afternoon, and we have a little bit of lift in the atmosphere. Those are the things we need. Now, one thing's for sure, these things are going to be producing some torrential downpours. When you've got dew points almost at 70 degrees, that's a ton of moisture that these storms are going to take advantage of. So if you do get under one of these things, be prepared for some blinding rain. It's going to be coming down in buckets at times. So here's the latest update from the Storm Prediction Center. We get another one at 11:30 this morning. They're still keeping the Quad Cities and points to the southwest in that threat track level 2 out of 5, meaning that scattered severe thunderstorms are likely at this point. And I want to put the key word scattered. This is not going to be a solid line coming in as we go through the evening. These will be coming in on a scattered basis, and some of them within those scattered storms will be strong to severe. Let's break down the individual threats. Where's the tornado zone today? It's in the exact same spot as the level 2 out of 5. Quad Cities and points to the southwest. Though I will say, based on the location of the warm front right now and how far north it is likely going to travel here as we go into the afternoon when storms fire, I think the tornado threat is really localized to this area right here, from Muscatine south to Washington, Mount Pleasant, Burlington, and then right around Galesburg. So if you're in this zone right here, I think that's going to be the area that has the best potential at seeing a brief spin-up tornado as we go into this afternoon. Now, I want to tell you that the ingredients for tornadoes today, it's not like what we saw back in April where we had those strong, long-track tornadoes. We don't have those kind of ingredients today. We have the same ingredients we had last week for a brief spin-up tornado. That's what we're going to be tracking the potential for as we go into the afternoon. So at least it's not as volatile as what we saw last month. I was trying to kind of tone that potential down a little bit more, if you will. There's your damaging wind probability. Again, likely Quad Cities points to the southwest. We're talking winds up to 60 miles per hour today. That's going to be kind of a secondary threat. And then also some hail threats there too. Quarter size, perhaps up to golf ball size hail will be possible with some of these stronger storms into the afternoon and evening. Putting this all into one graphic, easy to understand when you need to be on guard for storms today. This is going to be from 4 this afternoon until 10 o'clock tonight, and it is for really the entire Quad Cities region. Unless you live way to the north towards Galena, Dubuque, the Highway 20 corridor, that's kind of the cutoff point. Anything north that high, or that far north, I should say, you don't have much to worry about with storms that are coming in for today. But everybody else, a 2 out of 5, and all of the threats today are at a level 2. So let me show you how this looks with the storm energy plus the radar combined in as this front lifts northward throughout the day. There you see the higher amounts of storm energy right where I just kind of pointed out. I think that enhanced area for perhaps a tornado or two and the severe weather is really going to be right in here. There's your warm front. There's your higher levels of storm energy. And this is also the same point where you start to get some of those twisting of winds. You've got winds coming in from the southeast at the surface, quickly transitioning to west and then northwest as you go higher up into the atmosphere. And that's what happens with those storms there. So let's advance it a little bit further into the future. Actually, let's step back and go right there. So there you're seeing some of the stronger storm activity arriving here in the Quad Cities right around 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. That's why we're starting that threat at 4 and then continuing that on a scattered basis as we go through the evening. There's another little potent cell it's indicating going into parts of Mercer and into Henry County on the Illinois side. But notice it's scattered. It's not a solid line. So not everybody is going to see these. We head deeper into the evening. The severe threat will come to an end, especially around 10, if not before. Then we're just talking about general garden, summer-type variety showers and thunderstorms for the remainder of the night. Tomorrow still looks pretty wet. I would say especially in the morning. You got a decent amount of rain that's still falling there, but by the time we get to the afternoon, things will become more scattered in nature, and I expect we're going to get more dry hours. It's also going to be cooler too. You've got winds out of the northeast, which you can see with those arrows coming from areas like Waukegan down to the Quad Cities northeast winds. So it's going to be cooler, it's going to be very cloudy, and of course it's going to be damp. So unfortunately, not the best Mother's Day for moms this year. But at least we're not talking about severe weather tomorrow. We're going to limit that just to today only. So if you haven't already, make sure you've got our apps downloaded, ready to go as the storms move in today. They're not going to be moving real fast. The flow aloft today is not very strong. So that's why, again, we're not expecting these really strong, long-track tornadoes. We're expecting the exact opposite of that. Quick little spin-ups here and there, something that we can easily track and forewarn you well ahead of time. So grab the apps today, the News 8 app, the Storm Track 8 app. Both of those are there for you. Of course, we'll be on air should any warnings warrant some on-air attention. And you can also find coverage at WQAD.com as we go through the afternoon. So not a huge deal today. It's a 2 out of 5, just like we saw last Sunday. A couple little spin-ups possible, especially south and west of the Quad Cities. But again, nothing like we saw back in March and April. We just don't have those wind dynamics in place for us today. So if you receive the warning, make sure you're seeking shelter in your basement, ready to go. And of course, we'll pass along any watches should any of those need to be issued for this afternoon. So you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We'll keep an eye on things here back at WQAD News 8. And of course, we'll let you know if any of these storms get out of hand. Meteorologist Andrew Davis will be in this evening to cover that. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning, filling in for Morgan Strackbein. We'll talk more about kind of this nasty Mother's Day that's coming in, plus some cool Mother's Day history for you as well. You guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We'll see you later.